All right, there we go. Good morning, good noon, and good evening to everyone joining us from across the world. Welcome to Adapt and Adopt series by saasgenie. Firstly, thank you so much for joining today's session and I appreciate you all taking time. Let's start off. Before we get on to the demo, for those who haven't heard about saasgenie, we are emerging thought leaders in ITSM and CX space and we help organizations to choose, adopt, and implement the right tech stack. We have delivered excellence to 300 plus customers across globe. And to know what we have done differently and made difference in their business KPIs, please feel free to stop by our website. All right, on to the topic for the day, incident management. To all the leaders out there, a quick question. Is your current ITSM investment justifiable with respect to value? I'm repeating it. Is your current ITSM investment justifiable with respect to value? Just think through it. Ever since the emergence of AI, industry has been shifting from a reactive mode to a proactive and a predictive mode. Couple of data pointers here for your reference. Irrespective of the size of organization, teams are always in a firefighting mode and they keep handling tickets ranging between 500 to 8,000 plus. HDI states that for an organization with 1,000 users, we typically need 13 support technicians, which incurs a cost of $600,000 per year. And 40 to 60% of the time is lost in handling repetitive incidents and towards manual triaging. All of this has an ripple effect on the business KPIs. Any ITSM blended with AI has to show tangible results. According to me, there would be two core areas for the results. The first one, ROI, and second one is a greater employee experience. Which brings us to the topic for the day. How do we achieve the business value through Freshservice powered by Freddy AI? All right, this talks about the ROI framework that we have developed, and this helps you to identify metrics where the value leakage is happening. And second, how do you quantify the improvement potential? And third, the most important thing, how do you bridge the gap and move towards an effective ITSM system? I'll be sharing this slide post the session with you all. And if you have any challenges or in understanding with the data with respect to the calculation, please feel free to get in touch with us. All right, on to the workflow for the day. Having handled 1,000 plus implementations across industries, we have narrowed down the top 3 incident challenges as per the categories, as per the users. The first one for the support agents and the help desk agents. The second one is for the operations manager and IT managers who lead the team. And third is for the C-level members or the leadership. All right, let's get on to the demo. With me on call is Robert, our principal solution consultant, who will be demonstrating the workflow in Freshservice. Participants, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, or you may drop an email to this email ID on the screen. Towards the end of the call, if we have time, we would be handpicking a couple of questions. If not, we'll be getting over to those queries by email. Thank you so much, and over to you, Rob, for the demo.
Thank you very much for the tremendous start, Deepika. Right. To everyone who joined the call, thank you very much for taking your time, showing up. Right. I will make sure that it is as interesting as your time is. Right. So for today's session, I'm going to categorize how problems are dealt or how incidents are considered as a constraint in a day-to-day life for an IT service desk team, right? So let's think about this, right? A typical incident management process has tasks like identification, right? And then logging. You categorize your tickets and then you prioritize it, goes through with an initial diagnosis, and then it either goes for a functional escalation that it goes to the level 2 team or a highly skilled team. or it goes with a hierarchical escalation where it has to be bumped up, the priority has to be bumped up, or it has to be quickly resolved, right? And after a deeper investigation, we are going to drive it to closure. And once it is resolved, we are then going to formally close it because resolved and closed, that's two different things, right? Now, as a IT agent or an IT admin or the leader of a service desk, right? There are different things that comes up as a problem, right? Now we're going to see how AI helps in these problems or in mitigating how these problems are met on a daily basis, right? So let's start off with this. I'm going to be a IT employee or maybe an employee of an organization who's going to reach the service desk and seek for some help, right? Now, typically, what employees would do is they send an email or log a ticket in the service portal, or they reach out to one of the IT agents over MS Teams, right? So, how does the AI agent in Freshservice handle these stuff? So, let's say today I want access to a shared drive. So here the AI bot understands that I am seeking for an access, so that's a service request concept. But I also know that there is a solution article available which says that, hey, this can actually be the answer to your question. Maybe you can help yourself, right? So if you want to log a ticket, yes, you can, but try this, right? So how do I know that this is everything that I would need? It is coming from a documented information. We call that as solution articles. So we create a structured solution or knowledge base, right? But instead of going through the complete documentation, which is lengthy and could be misleading after reading all stuff, the AI bot senses what I'm looking for and just gives me the instructions of what I'm supposed to do. But if I still feel that I have to create a ticket, I can click on the button, say create a ticket, and it's going to document everything that I tried and what I was looking for, and makes it easy for me to submit a ticket, right? Now, not everyone is going to look into the search engine, right? People might be drifted just to start creating tickets, right? So report an issue. I'm just going to say, I want to write a ticket to the IT team and say, my password is not working. The AI bot is again smart enough to understand that there are some solution articles available. So it is suggesting some solution articles. So I can help myself and still get this fixed, right? Now, everyone would like to work from one screen, not switch between applications, right? And when you have a Microsoft environment or a Google environment or any instant messaging tools like Slack, MS Teams, or Google Chat, you still want to stay within that or converse with somebody to get your issue resolved, right? Now, in terms of sticking to that factor, we have a service bot in Freshservice, which is an AI agent still going to help you with all the information that you're looking for, right? So let's say I am unable to print, right? This is clearly an incident, right? It's a problem, right? So the AI bot is going to fetch the details from the Freshservice knowledge base, and it's also going to involve some NLP and understand what am I supposed to do. Now, instead of just giving me redirections to solution articles or submitting tickets, it gives me some steps to try, right? Again, it's going to rely on the information from the knowledge base, but instead of showing that as a content, it asks me as a question, right? So let's say it says offline. There you go. So I have the steps of what I have to do, right? And I can get this resolved. And based on my outcome, I can maybe upvote or downvote the solution article. Now, depending upon the reaction I give here, the system is going to change the confidence level and improvise the machine learning, right? But if you still feel like, hey, I need to submit a ticket, you can quickly create a ticket by clicking on this create ticket button, and the system is automatically going to create a ticket for you, right? Okay. Now, that's when you actually are looking for some help, right? You're going to create a ticket or you're looking for some information. But let's say if somebody is triggering an approval to you, or you have submitted your ticket and you want to maybe just follow up, you can look into your ticket, right? Just ask for my tickets, and it's going to show you all the tickets that have been assigned to you if you're an agent, and if it was requested by you if you're a requester, right? So based on what prompts are given and what responses are received, you're going to see everything within the same interface, the MS Team interface, right? Now, on top of this, right, we got our issue resolved and we have the answers. Now, if I want to respond to a survey, a satisfaction survey, it is still going to come into the MS Teams window, right? All I have to do is just respond to these cards that comes along and get my answer or issue fixed, right? So now, as an employee, if I go into the web portal, I get my answer by an AI bot. If I talk to the MS Teams bot, I still get my answer. Or if I want to submit the ticket, both are possible. Now, let's say if I want to send an email to the service desk, there is still an AI component where it's going to understand the content in the email and fetch some details from the solution article and automatically respond as the first response. Think about the acknowledgement emails that you get from the ITSM systems, right? So everywhere the employee is covered. So as an end employee, my time is reduced, my issue is resolved, so I'm happy. Now, let's shift to the next persona. That's the agents, right? Now, on a daily basis, agents go on firefighting. They want to know how to resolve the issue, right? But as leaders or as admins, one of the key areas that they need to focus on scaling up their agents to look into tickets or work on tickets is the training, right? They would need to know what their processes are or what the resolution steps are. While we have solution articles, it's not ideal for them to refer to solution article on each and every ticket, right? Now that's where AI Copilot can help, right? So let's say I have a ticket assigned to me and I want to know what is the resolving step, right? So let's take this one, right? VPN issue. As we all know, every agent would have to fix an VPN issue because it's definitely impacting a user who is remotely connected, right? So after conversation, we understand that this is an issue that needs some troubleshooting step to be involved, right? However, let's say if I'm a new member, right, I'm still scaling up and I want to know what has to happen or what is the resolving step. I can either use the AI Copilot, which tells me that there are similar tickets available. Maybe there are 4 tickets that have the same issue, which helps me understand that this could be a common pattern, which can start a problem management or a major incident ticket. Or if there are more number of resolved tickets, maybe this is a common driver, right? Maybe a frequently asked question and see what can be done. However, the number of tickets that were resolved will definitely have a resolution. Now, traditionally, what I have to do is maybe go into one of these resolved tickets and see what's happening or what was given as a solution which resolved the issue. Or I would go into a solution base where I can reply and say, hey, here is a solution article or here is a canned response that can help you fix the issue, right? But this is something usual. How does Freddy or the AI bot help me, right? Now, all I have to do is click on reply using AI agent. Now, the AI bot is going to look into the historical tickets and the solution articles. It finds what is the resolving step, and in a click of a button, I have the resolution. All I have to do is just send this to the end user or the impacted employee and wait for the answer and see if things work out. And if it works out, the employee or the impacted user can resolve the issue, right? Now, as a admin or an agent, if I get my answer ready in a click of a button, I'm saving at least 30 seconds in terms of typing a response, right? Now, the system is smart enough to improvise itself where based on the combinations and the responses given for each and every ticket, it improvises its response, right? Not just that, a good service desk is when it has good data for data analytics and for improvising the performance, right? For that, we would need to prioritize and categorize tickets properly, right? Now, the AI bot is going to look for the pattern. We have a bot which says that, hey, I'll continuously listen to your activities, right? So based on how you prioritize and categorize tickets, right, I will start suggesting stuff for you, right? So here, it's going to start suggesting urgency, impact, priority, group, and the category values based on how I assign or prioritize or even categorize my tickets. Once the Freddy AI bot is confident enough to say that, yes, I can categorize and prioritize the ticket, it's automatically going to do it for you, right? So that as an IT admin or an agent, you get a lot of your time taken away just by AI getting the job done for you. Your tickets are getting auto categorized, auto prioritized, auto resolved, and so on. Now, sometimes users might actually ask you, like, hey, I need an access to a particular application, or I need an access to, or I need a hardware or so. Now, Freshservice can actually orchestrate these actions that can be performed in other environments. For example, if I would need to gain access to maybe Azure or a CRM account, all I have to do is just fill in the form and automatically the automation within Freshservice will perform the action in the targeted mission, targeted application, right? Maybe it's Azure or Google or any of the most commonly used SaaS application, it performs the action, right? So we saw how Freddy AI is helping a employee save time or get answers. We also saw how IT admins and agents are able to get the deep house using AI as their co-pilot. Now let's talk about leaders, right? Now leaders need to know how AI is actually helping the service desk or where they can action or what has to be improvised, right? Now, in terms of doing that, AI Insights or Freddy Insights is actually going to help you to understand, are there any anomalies or do I have to improvise a particular process and so on, right? So when you go into AI Insights, there are going to be auto-generated cards which lets you know what is the anomaly or is there a difference in how the service desk is operating. So here is a card which says that the SLA was unusually high in a given a week, right? And not just that, it gives you what's the reason, right? What are the actions that can be taken? And if you want to drill down furthermore to understand what was the reason for the sudden spike, you can have a clear picture here. Now, as I said, this is proactive. The system is going to listen to how your service desk is working, and it's going to give you this information, right? However, if I would like to know a report and say like, hey, I want to know how many tickets were deflected by using AI, how many employees got their response, how many agents got their time saved by using AI. Now, there is an out-of-the-box report in Freshservice which shows you these data, right? So when I go into Freddy AI agent, it's clearly going to show me what's the trend which helped me reduce the number of tickets that were supposed to be created, how many users are actively using Freddy AI, right? What's the feedback given, right? And what is the detail of how many conversations were given, right? What was the most answered question, or what is the most unanswered question? So this way, this gives me an insight of how I can improvise my service desk. That's for the employees, right? Now, if I want to know how the Freddy Copilot is helping my service desk agents or my admins, I have an automated report for that as well, right? I can see which feature is being utilized the most, right? Which is saving the most time, or which is actually bringing in more assistance in terms of maybe is it reducing any value here, or it is actually saving any time, right? Does it have a positive impact on any of my parameters or metrics, right? Does it change the resolution time, or do I have a difference in the first call resolution? Everything is available in a click of a button, right? So think about this. You're a leader, right? You want to improvise your service desk experience. All you have to do is just start using Freshservice, just toggle on all the Freddy features, and your employee, your IT agent, your IT admin, and you as a leader, get benefited with all the information right available in your hand. Right. Now, let's go back to the ITIL process, the best practice that says how an incident management has to be structured, right? So let's start off with this identification. So for an end employee to understand if this is an issue or if it's just a self-help documentation information, Freshservice is going to help you suggest the resolving steps, right? And then when you log a ticket, right, it is going to help the IT agent to respond or maybe prepare a resolving step, right? And categorization and prioritization, AI helps you with that automatically. In terms of the detailed analysis, it could be initial or the escalation or the investigation, right? AI is actually going to suggest you that, hey, these are the similar tickets, and here is what you can do. And if you would like to escalate it, you reassign it, right? Because the Freddy AI is actually suggesting a group assignment as well, right? Now, once that is done, you're going to resolve the ticket. And once it is resolved, the resolving step is saved as a historical data. So for the upcoming tickets or for anybody who's looking for the same information, you're actually creating a knowledge base. And driving it to closure, we can also trigger surveys and you can record the employee satisfaction, which then later can be reported on and see how AI is making my day better, right? So in each step of this process, I can see a positive intrusion of AI and it's actually helping me do great things, right? Now, here is an illustration from a test portal that we saw how AI is improvising a service desk experience on a daily basis, right? So if you actually see, um, this account was created or it started to perform right during the December month. So December and January was more of like a pilot period, right? But the actual data started flowing in from February, right? So from February, we can see a standard trend in terms of the resolution time, right? So it's again improvising on a daily basis, right? Um, there is a very heavy usage of AI components for this service desk, right? We also have a comparison between the resolved ticket count with the SLA adherence, right? So the second widget here shows you how the number of tickets are getting resolved and how many are within the SLA, right? See a major count of tickets getting resolved within the SLA, right? So which means AI is actually helping you to resolve ticket, but in a lesser time. So it's saving time and it's saving your efforts as well, right? And for a leader, for them to know like how to improvise my service desk. So here is a report where it shows the comparison of how the trend was for the resolution SLA and for the first response SLA, right? While there is a standard growth or maybe an upward trend for the resolution SLA, which is good, and a steady maintenance for the first response SLA, right, which is stagnant, right? Both put together, that was good. However, there was a significant attention needed for the first contact resolution count, right? So it needed an attention, and that's where the service desk understood that yes, this is where we would need to action. So during the third quarter of the year, they realized that they need to create more solution articles, which again AI helped, and they created more solution articles. And the first contact resolution is slowly improvising. So just to show you the difference, the first contact resolution between the October and November month sees a difference, right? So that is because the first contact resolution is improvised using AI components, right? Now, there are a lot of the things AI bots can do. There are a lot of the things Freshservice can do. We are always happy to know that different use cases from different customers are getting addressed within Freshservice, right? At saasgenie, we expertise on this, right? We love fixing things. We love hearing customer use cases and be happy with the solutions that we provide. With that, that's it from my end. Thank you for listening. Over to you, Deepika.
That was a wonderful demo, Robert. Thank you so much. Now on to the Q&A session. Team, do we have any questions from your end? Please feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll be able to take it up. All right. Being mindful of the time here, We would get back to the questions over email. And thank you so much for taking your time and attending this session. Hope you had great insights over the session. Thank you.